we take a look at the hymn, Christ Arose. Sometimes you'll see this hymn with the title, Low in the Grave He Lay, or Up from the Grave He Arose, depending on what hymnal you're looking in. The text is by Robert Lowry. He was an ordained Baptist minister. He was ordained in 1854, and he wrote this hymn in 1874. It was published in a Sunday school songbook that was edited by Lowry and a fellow named William Doane in 1875, and this songbook was titled Brightest and Best. This hymn was used famously by Dwight L. Moody, the famous evangelist, and his musician Ira D. Sankey in their revivals in Great Britain. And this hymn was also wildly popular in America as well. Robert Lowry wrote the tune for his text in 1874, and so the tune is called Christ Arose. Now on this one, Christ Arose, or as this hymnal calls it, Up from the Grave He Arose, you can see we are in a much simpler key of C. So no flats, no sharps, and the first chord is most obviously going to be C. Now you'll notice here the melody goes G, G, and then it goes to A. So that's a pretty good indication that we could have F as a chord there. But you'll notice if you read bass clef, we still have C. So we could call that F over C, and then it comes back to C. Now here, obviously this is going to be G. We have a D in the alto, which indicates these two notes are part of the G major chord. And then this F turns it into a G7. Now, technically, this is going to be a G9, but we're not going to worry about it. Here we have F over C again, and then C. Then in the next line, this A in the melody makes it pretty clear that we want an F chord there. What can really help in getting the chords for these is look at that bass line. There's F in the bass. So it stays on F, and then we have C. Now you don't need to worry necessarily about the E, and you can just go straight back to C. And then here we have A minor. You see we got an A in the melody. We also have E in the alto. And if you read bass clef, we have C in the tenor. So these three notes, of course, these three notes comprise A minor. And then here, it goes from A minor to G, and it's actually G over D, which makes it easy to go from G over D to D7. The F sharp is a big giveaway that we have some kind of seventh chord D7 there because we are in the key of C. Now we end up on the dominant. And that, of course, is the perfect place to take us into the refrain. One of the interesting things about this is in many editions, older hymns, you'll see an indication that this should be played just a little bit faster, a little bit more excitement. And so you'll notice the melody starts on C, E, G, C. It basically goes up, and it's kind of what we call word painting. The text, of course, is Up from the Grave He Arose, so the melody does exactly the same thing. It goes up. And so that's word painting, when the melody kind of mirrors what the text is saying. And it's a little corny maybe, but it is very effective. That's what made this hymn so popular, is the verse is very subdued, melody doesn't move a whole lot, and then you get to the chorus, all of a sudden you're leaping up an octave within the space of 2 bars. And you have these little refrains. He arose down there. So it's all C major, still C major. And then here, this will be F because we're going right down the scale. Da, 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 dee. And so now we're back to C. Now we got to move the page here. This hymn goes over 2 pages, so let's get this one out of the way. You notice here the melody now has D. And that makes it pretty obvious. We have a D, and we have F in the alto and G in the bass. So this is G7. It's basically G7, and the B is missing, but it still gives you a very strong feeling of, okay, this is G7. And then here, there's two things you can do. You can, if you're just dealing with the tune, you'll notice you have C, A, G. So that could basically just be F and then C. But once again, reading the bass clef, you've got A in the bass, you've got E in the alto. So we could call that A minor, then it goes to F, and then it goes to C. And then we go back to F here. Then we have D7. We've kind of moved a little farther out on the circle of fifths, but we make our way back by going to G7. Now here, this technically is an A minor chord. You can play it if you want, or you can just stay on G7 all the way through to here. And then here comes the big climax. He arose, C. You got the bass and the tenors answering. And then here, this is the super high point of the song. You got an F in the melody. It's an F chord. And now we have C. And this is one of those things on piano where you have an inverted form of the chord, C over G. Look at all those G's in the bass. Then G7, which when you're playing the chords, pretty easy to go from C over G to G7, and then boom, we land on C. All right, let's see what this sounds like. Let's begin by playing through the melody. And you'll notice in this song that the melody in the verse has a very narrow range. It only goes from G to C, and it's very simple rhythmically. A lot of quarter notes and half notes. So that whole line only has 3 different notes. Then it goes a little bit differently here in the second line. So the verse, very straightforward, very simple, but the chorus, or the refrain, as it's often called in hymnals, in some earlier versions, earlier hymnals, you're instructed to play this part a little bit faster. It's a little bit more exciting now. And you'll notice the melody outlines the C major chord as you go up from the grave, and the melody goes up as well. And as I mentioned before, this is what you call word painting. The lyrics talk about going up or rising up, and the melody rises up as well. And now you have these dotted 8th, 16th patterns. Up from the grave he arose. Next line. So you can see the melody now has a much wider range. You're going from this C and then all the way up here to an E. And it stays up high now. Comes down a little bit, but the range is bigger. And then we come to the climax of the song, and this part is often slowed down for more dramatic effect. And here we come to the highest note in the whole song. Chance for the sopranos to show off. All right, let's put it all together very simply now. The verse, of course, very straightforward. Now notice there, I'm playing a chord. Basically, every time the melody moves, I play another chord because the chord changes on beat 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, chord change, chord, C, C, then we have G. Now you can just play a chord on beats 1 and 3. Chord on 1 and 3. And then here we have 2 chords. Now, if you want to make this sound fuller, before we get to the refrain, you can add the alto part. You're basically going to play harmony with yourself. The soprano has the tune, the alto has the harmony, so you play two notes now in the right hand. If you read treble clef, just basically play what's there, and then add the chords in the left hand. See, it sounds fuller already. Now, when we get to the chorus, or the refrain, I should say, we're going to do something a little different. Instead of playing a chord right at the beginning, let's just play the melody with both hands until we reach the last syllable of the word arose. And then if you read the bass clef, you'll notice that the tenors and the basses have a little response. The grave he arose, and then they go, he arose. So we'll play it just like that. 1, 2, ready, and up from the grave. And then we'll play the chords as normal. Also, we can add the alto part to make it fuller. So we'll play that little response that the tenors and basses do. We'll play it in the left hand using the chord. Now we come to the big climax. So let's leave a little bit of a space there. Notice how he arose, and there's nothing in the tenor and bass line there if you're reading the bass clef. They once again have that little response. So instead of just playing one note, let's play the whole chord. We can add the alto part in there, make it more full. Now you'll notice in the last two bars, I'm almost playing exactly what is written in the hymnal. It sounds pretty good. There's some even fancier things you can do. Play the chord with both hands. Very simple. And then here, you can be very dramatic. Big chords. And you can take your time here. Play some big notes in the left hand. Anyway, you can have a lot of fun playing this very famous hymn. So thanks for watching and playing along. If there are any other hymns that you'd like to learn to play, let me know in the comments. I know that I've only scratched the surface when it comes to great hymns. There are many, many more that we could learn about and also learn how to play. If you'd like to support my work here at Home with Music to help me continue creating these educational and tutorial videos, you can buy me a coffee or you can join my Patreon. The links are in the description. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.